And he said, I told you that when I'm all in, I'm all in. He said, I'm all in. I got here on the 24th. It was a Saturday. And when I got here, I had already in my mind that I was going to network. So on the third day that I was here, I went to go network. It was Rockstar. You remember the Rockstar Network?
Oh, Rockstar Networking, yeah.
Yeah, and it was actually Old Chicago Pizza where you guys meet on Monday. And so I got there and I was like, cool. I'm like being myself, not hard to be because, everybody else is taken. And I was like, great. So I go and sit down in a little bar, Old Chicago Pizza, and then this person comes up to me and says, is anybody sitting here? And I was like, no. And he was kind of like Thumper. He kept like thumping the chair. And I was like, OMG. So I was like, well, maybe he'll calm down after he sits down and he gets refreshed. And he kept kicking my chair. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, be cool, be calm. And he keeps kicking my chair. And I'm like, by now I'm really irritated. I'm about to get off my chair, give him the riot act. And I was like, get him off my chair, I'm about to give him the riot act. And the something on the inside of me says, be nice and kind to him. And I was like, I don't know what that's about. And I never listened to that voice when it comes to boys, but this time I did. So, yeah, right? Right. And so I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, hi, my name is Lauren. Yes, I'm a chiropractor. What do you do? And he's like, hi, my name is Ken. And I do like Legal Shield. And he's like, oh, so where are you from? Oh, you're a chiropractor. He's like, you want to do a one-to-one? I was like, sure. What's a one-to-one? So he takes my phone, takes my phone, he puts his information in there, he's like, you need to get this app because you can take pictures of your cars, they're free, you don't have the cars, you guys know Ken,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so, well, you guys don't know Ken, but this is how Ken is. He's like, okay, let me get your phone, and he puts his phone number in there, and I'm like, okay. So he's like, so you want to have a one-on-one this week? I was like, sure, we can have a one-on-one this week, whatever that means. So we met at Third Space Coffee, and that was the actual first time I met Kent, because I don't know who that guy was. He was like, that was his representative. We all have representatives.
Yes.
Nervous networker.
That's exactly
Yes.
what
Yes.
he's a lot calmer now.
He is calmer now.
Oh yeah, he's a lot calmer.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, oh my God.
You've been
Thumper.
let go.
Okay, you And so I was like, okay. So I sit down and he's like, hi, my name is Ken. It kind of slows down a few RPMs. And I'm like, that's real cool, And he's like, so you're a chiropractor. How long have you been here? And he's like, oh, you're new to business. And he's like, I have somebody who can help you with business. And he just immediately started giving me all these resources. And I was like, I mean, I was hearing what he was saying, but I was really paying attention to his genuineness. He was so kind. He was so genuine. He wasn't asking for anything. He wasn't uploading his business. He didn't seemingly have a second agenda. You've met people who have the second agenda when you're networking, and he didn't do any of that. And I was like, okay. So, ladies, talking to my friends over here, I'm talking to everybody, I'm talking to my friends over here because they've known me for a really long time. I throw away my list. He's got to be all these things, right? And I was actually myself. I had finished school. You guys know I finished Raising Malik, and I came here, and I was just like, I have no emotional tie to being in a relationship. And I'm like, I don't want to necessarily, like somebody or be with somebody because I need money, because he needs somebody to be with, or he needs a caretaker, I need caretaking. And I didn't have it. I need it. And so there was none of that. And I was like, and so I'm saying that because when I met Kent, the one thing that he had that I never even considered even being like, do you put this on the list, was he was kind. That was it. I was like I was looking around, like, is there somebody else? Like, I was like, that is whoever the person is. And I wasn't like, ooh, I'm so in love with Ken. He's just so wonderful. You know, he's kind of an awkward person, you know. And I was like, but he's got to be kind of like this guy, you know. But I liked him because up until then, and you guys kind of know my dating story because they're my oldest friends. I didn't need to give him a dictionary to understand anything I was saying. He didn't need a thesaurus to figure out what other word goes with that. You know, he just had good natural conversation. And I was like, cool, we can talk. Okay, we could talk, and he reads books. Lord and behold, he reads books. And so that was in February, because I got here at the end of the month. And his birthday was in February, so I was like, hey dude, hey, happy birthday, how you doing? And then remember we had that psychoblastic.
Oh, the bomb cyclone.
Yeah, the bomb cyclone thing. Oh my God. And I was, we had this really horrible storm down here. It was like a blizzard, it was like a cyclone, kind of.
What year was that?
19.
19, it was 19. Really? Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I've lived here a long time. Now, I remember, I moved away, but I hadn't heard anybody tell me about something crazy. Like, it was crazy. And so I was like, hey, it's snowing outside. He was like, yeah, it's snowing outside. So I did a lot of obvious things because obvious things make me happy. Like, it's starry outside. He's like, yes, it's starry outside. It's like, it's raining outside. He's like, yes, it's raining outside. And so I like that because he never called me a weirdo right up front. You know, he didn't say, he never said, you know, you're too much, you're too smart, you're too intelligent, you're too independent. You guys, well, ladies, we know your two stories, you know. You're too independent, you don't need me.
You're too much for me to handle.
You're too much for me. Well, you know, what's my role in all this? I'm like, if you can't figure out your role in this, then I certainly can't. And so he wasn't any of those things. And so it was snowing, and I got stuck in the snow. Marie had to come get me out. And I was like, hey, did you make it home safely? He said, yeah. And so we had periodically been talking, you know, like, just like, hey, dude, how you doing? Hey, I'm good, hey. And then, like, when I wished him happy birthday, he was like, crickets. I was like, oh, so we're not friends no more? Is that what we're doing? He was like,
games for Ken.
He's like, I didn't see it. I was so sorry. And then, and at the end of April, he finally asked me to happy hour. And I was like, okay. Well, maybe he could like me. So let's see. Does he like me? So he liked my hair. He already told me he liked my hair. So I was like, make sure my hair was real big because big hair counts.
Real big and good home.
He liked my big hair, and I was like, I'm gonna put this dress on. It was a strapless dress like that. It was red. I put my black boots on, my black heels on. I was like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen tonight. So he's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, good. So he talked to me, Lisa, for 2 hours. I was like, no, I'm hungry. I was like, if the next words that don't fall off his lips are you hungry? We're gonna have a bar stool problem. So he did say, are you hungry? I was like, I get it. So we talked, and we had so many things that were in common. It was crazy. One of the things that he had in common was he didn't have a TV. And I thought that was really amazing because I had been told I was never going to get a man if I didn't have a TV because men like sports and that's how you keep a man. And I was like, well, good thing he don't got no TV. I might be able to keep this one. So we talked, we shut down the whole restaurant. But before we went to the second restaurant, because we went to 2 that night, I was very much a vegan. I had pancreatitis this year, so I kind of jumped off the vegan bandwagon for a little while. But I was like, I want a vegan pizza. And the people said, we can't take the cheese off the pizza. And I was like, fine. I know they did. I know that's the weirdest thing, right?
Mod has special vegan cheese, by the way.
The do?
The Mod, yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we did go to Mod later on. We had a family Mod event. And so he was like, you know we could leave. And I, once again, looked around like, first of all, is he talking to me? And he's like, yeah, like, we could total this bill up and we could leave. And I was like, this guy gets it.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Because we know, I mean, if you've been dating for any moment in time, some guy comes and, sorry, gentlemen, I'm not bashing, it's just a reality. And they're like, why can't you just give us on the menu? Why you gotta be this, or why you gotta be that, or why you gotta be this? And he was like, no. He's like, Paul, give me the check. We cancel our order, we're gonna pay for our drinks, and we're gonna leave. And I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
This guy right here, this guy's got it. And so that's how we met. That's what led us to him. And from that moment, honestly, what'd you say?
So that ain't what you said. You said he didn't get it.
That's what you said.
That night he was like, I really had a great time. I'd like to see you again. But I left not knowing he was like, is he still interested? Is he interested or he's not interested? So Claudine Malcolm, how many of you guys know Claudine? Claudine took me to coffee one day. Kent and I were supposed to meet because he had these allergies, and I was supposed to give him something for his allergies, so I'm a healer. And I forgot all the stuff that I was supposed to give him. I forgot it. I forgot it. I was like, so sorry. And then Caprice, not Caprice, but Claudine left me at the cafe. She's like, well, you're gonna meet Kent, he'll bring you back. And I was like, I don't know this guy, he's not gonna bring me back, you know? Because I didn't, at that point, no time if he liked me or he didn't like me. So he brought me back. I was so tired, I was like, can you take me home? He was like, sure. But I really wanted him to take me to my office, so he took me to my office, and then he says, do you live here? I was like, no, and I didn't even know why he asked me, that's how tired I was. I was like, no, I work here, this is my office. He was like, okay. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything to me. He didn't say, well, you told me to, you home. He just said, okay. Well, here you are. I was like, and then in the car ride, I was like, I want to see if he likes it. So I always figure, if you run your fingers through a guy's hair, he's going to either reject you or he's not.
Yeah.
And I put my hand behind his head and I started rubbing my fingers through his head, and he was like, okay.
I don't know what to do. I have no idea what I should have been doing.
And so what'd you say? What?
I said, what happened to just asking?
No, he's not like that. He has to think about it. He has to come
And he's
up with
so
it.
naive that he doesn't know if she's hitting on me or if
He doesn't.
like, that's
Just
him.
ask the question.
Oh, she's chasing my hair.
Right?
And so he was like, I was like so astounded. I didn't know what to do. And so I just went with it. I was like, oh. And then he knew that I liked tea, so our real official first date was the tea house in Manitou Springs.
Oh, yes.
And that was so fun. And we had so much fun. I was really excited about that. So that's how I met Kent Police. And the rest is history.
That's awesome.
The rest is our story.
Yes,
Right?
that's right.
No, you guys are so perfect together. Like,
I love
seriously.
that.
I've seen these two walk on the trail together, and it's proof that when a guy watches her, make sure she's safe coming down a hill on the paths,
Yeah.
he guides her, he walks with her. I love it. He's my sweet guy.
Wow.
He's your guy.
Yes, so that's the story of Kent and I. So we're getting married on October the 2nd. Yay!
Y'all might want to remember some of the stuff she's saying, because there's going to be another game later with some of these details.